Hi, everyone. We're just going to give folks a minute or so to come on in the webinar. Thank you for joining us today. All right, I think we can go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Technology Tuesdays. My name is Lydia Nimke, and I am very excited to bring you all today's presentation on tech tools for cooking, something very near and dear to my heart as a lover of food. You all are muted and have your cameras turned off by default, but please don't let that stop you from engaging with us in the Q&A box down below. With us in the background, we have Beth Gabriel.
Everybody, I'm just hanging out. I'm here to ask your questions to Lydia, so just make sure to put them in the Q&A box, and I can do that as we go along. Have a good presentation. I'm looking forward to learning about some new ways to do my own cooking, so it's great.
Thanks, Beth. All right, let's jump into some of the main concepts we'll be covering today. Today, we're definitely going to be going over more of the software and application side of things as opposed to actual cooking devices, which could be a topic for a future Tech Tuesdays. If there is any interest in that, you can let us know. And we're going to break down a discussion of these different apps and services into 3 sections: meal planning, cooking, and virtual cooking classes. A lot of the apps we discussed today are going to fall into that freemium sort of space, meaning that they are free to use, but some of the more advanced features do come at a subscription cost. And where I could find pricing information, I've included that. So for each of these services and applications, I do have a short video that'll kind of serve as our demonstration portion for the day, to sort of show you all what the interface looks like and how you can access some of the features. And most importantly, since, like I mentioned, they'll be following into that freemium category, it's important for you all to see if you're considering using any of these services when I run into a paywall, so you can know, this app is great until a certain point where I have to pay for it, right? So of course, this presentation is being recorded, so I will send out a recording to Tech Tools for Cooking in a follow-up email a little bit later on this week. So there's no need to take any extensive notes or anything like that, as you all will have access to it. All right, first off, let's talk about meal planning apps. These apps are really going to be kind of a one-stop shop for finding recipes and for planning out a week, say, of meals for you and your family. And they can really take the guesswork out of, having to consciously think every single day, what are we going to have for dinner? That question that you must ask yourself, what are we going to have for dinner? You can kind of plan that out once a week and just follow the plan you've laid out. I find that they're especially helpful, meal planning apps, if you have any sort of dietary restrictions or you're trying to make sure you eat at home as opposed to eating out. So you can kind of catalog all the things you have at home and build from there. So the first one we're going to talk about is MealLime. And this is actually the one I use at my house. It's quite simple and relatively intuitive as far as the interface goes. I like it especially because you can find a recipe you like and add it to your plan for the week, and you can actually add as many as you want for lunch and dinner recipes. And then it'll generate a shopping list from you. And then from that shopping list, you can check off the things you already have and then export that list to different grocery stores and set up a curbside delivery or a delivery to your actual house. So it kind of takes the guesswork out of it. Or you can take that shopping list on your phone and walk through the store and shop for it yourself if you don't find grocery shopping to be a chore. So this app comes with thousands of recipes, and the recipes that are featured on MealLime are created by chefs and registered dietitians, and you get to choose the menu type you want to see, from classic and flexitarian to keto, vegan, paleo options. Overall, the recipes are generally pretty approachable and healthy, but they are a bit simple. This is going to be a simpler style of cooking. Nothing super fancy and dinner party-esque is going to be in MealLime. They're all pretty simple everyday meals. You can search for recipes by diet, cuisine type, price per serving, and even calories in the premium version. One of the differentiators that MealLime touts specifically is that it has a food waste savings tracker, which keeps tabs on how much food waste you prevent by using MealLime's recipes in meal planning. It is very interesting. You can create a meal plan here with up to 600 customizations, including things like allergies, restrictions, likes and dislikes, and how many people the recipe should feed. So let's go on and take a look at the video here. As you can see, it kind of gives you an overview of what the app does. In the beginning, once you initially log in, you can pick your diet kind from all of these options here and list any allergies you may have. Going on along. And dislikes, which is important as well. And of course, how many servings you want to make, whether it's for a family or for a couple. And then they want us to create an account, which we can do. And here is a really quick showing of pretty much the services that MealLime offers, which is pretty nice. One thing I like about MealLime in particular is that it doesn't leave you out to dry once you download the app. It kind of guides you through using it the first time. So, if you're not an app person, but you want to see what this one's about, it'll walk you through the process of creating a meal plan. So all we're doing here is clicking on the plus sign, and you'll see some of them are only available to subscribers, and they have that pro on top of them. But we can add them into our meal plan that we're building right down here at the bottom. And there we go. It's that simple. And then once we toggle over to the groceries button at the bottom of the screen here, and again, it's guiding you. It's going to show you all your groceries organized by the section of the grocery store they are in, which is so helpful. And if you do the grocery shopping yourself, it helps you be really effective while you're in there. And now I'm just checking off the things I already have at my house right now, so they're not on my list anymore. From here, we can easily go up to that shop online button that's going to appear right here. And I just briefly show you all what that looks like. There's so many different options. Some of these aren't here in Wisconsin, but a lot of them are, and we can click on our preferred store, and it will load and take us right into that store's webpage so that we can shop for a lime, and it automatically populates your search term based on what you need. And you'll add that to your cart and kind of check out how you would normally if you were ordering for curbside or delivery from the Meijer in this example. Once you're done shopping, you'll hit done shopping after you've checked out and set up all your times and stuff like that. And from there, you can go pick up your groceries and start cooking. So MealLime is definitely one of my favorites. But moving on to some apps I learned about in creating this presentation, there is Cozy. And Cozy was designed as a family organizing app, actually, but it includes a recipe planner and grocery list functions. The basic version of this app is free, but the premium version is about $30 a year. And that premium version offers a calendar search and a birthday tracker and a bunch of additional features for, the family organization side of things. This app is really unique in that it helps you organize more than your cooking schedule, to kind of organize your entire life, right? Not just the cooking schedule and grocery shopping and things like that. So if you're a family, for example, that has Taco Tuesdays or Friday night pasta every week, you can plan that into your cooking schedule. Similarly, if you know you're going to make a recipe that calls for a whole chicken for a meal and you want to use the leftover chicken the next day to make quesadillas, you can plan that out as well. The great thing about this app is that you can add other family members in so that everybody knows what's on the menu. There's nothing to eat. What do I do? Can I have money to order something? Everybody can know what there is to eat, and everybody can know what ingredients we have to make specific meals. So that could be really helpful in some circumstances. Now, recipe-wise, you'll see once I play the video, the app is a little bit bare bones, but it's easy enough to add recipes from other websites or even upload your own. So let's take a look at that. Going into Cozy. So they do want you to create an account. That's the only way you can really get into Cozy. It integrates with whatever calendar app you use. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel or use Cozy's calendar app. You can actually integrate it into your Google Calendar or your iCalendar, what have you. Like I mentioned, there's the opportunity to add in other family members, which is really, really nice. Now we're looking at some of their recipes. And as you see, kind of a big difference from the previous one we looked at. It's a little bit more simple of an interface. And I'm just adding this recipe's ingredients to my shopping list. And then we have to separately add this recipe to the recipe box. There are two separate steps in Cozy, whereas it was just one step in MealLime. So again, just a simple recipe here. You have to add it and then add it to your shopping list. And we're going to add one more here. Add to recipe box and add to shopping list. Now, as you probably noticed, this does not organize the recipe ingredients by the section of the grocery store they're in, which could be nice, but just something to take note of. And when you mark something as an ingredient you already have, it stays there unless you go in to delete it from the list. Stays there just crossed out. But you can also add additional items to this grocery list right up at the top here that don't have anything to do with any of these recipes. And again, you can share that list so everyone knows exactly what ingredients to get for the recipes we are trying to make. And you can get more specific if there's a specific ingredient you want, like a Parmesan couscous instead of a plain couscous flavor. And this is just the homepage of Cozy to kind of show you some of the other features it has that we don't really go into because it's not specifically cooking related. And yeah, from there, let's move on to talking about PlateJoy. So PlateJoy is more about nutritionist designed menus. It really tries to make healthy food interesting and fun and inventive and give new and modern recipes. The photos of each dish in PlateJoy are absolutely beautiful. So you're going to feel like you're scrolling through a chef's Instagram feed or something. So that helps. Now, PlateJoy is pretty expensive for the premium version at $13 a month or $99 a year, which is pretty hefty ask. I personally probably would not pay that much for it. But it does offer a 10-day free trial. So if you're curious, you can always check it out. Just make sure you cancel it before they charge you. So as I mentioned, these meal plans are designed by nutritionists, and they are, of course, customizable to suit your diet preferences and needs. There are options for clean eating, low carb, Mediterranean, dairy-free, keto, gluten-free, and plant-based diets. And they provide you the nutritional information for each recipe. To help you even more on a healthy eating journey, the subscription even gives you access to coaches who are also registered dietitians and/or nutritionists. You can even connect the PlateJoy app to your Fitbit or Apple Watch for like a whole holistic sort of fitness and health tracking atmosphere. PlateJoy does also offer optional grocery delivery and allows you to connect your shopping list to Amazon Fresh and Instacart. So a little bit fewer options than some others, but those are still two of like the most popular grocery delivery services. PlateJoy also allows you to sync your meal plans with your calendar or the in-app one. Although like the scheduling out of meals for a day-to-day basis is only available on the desktop version. But as we'll see in the video, the recipes are searchable by ingredient, cuisine, and appliance, which I didn't know was something that I had been missing until I came across PlateJoy. So let's take a look at PlateJoy. So again, they want us to create an account. I don't know if I actually did create a full account with Playjoy because I am notorious for signing up for free trials and then forgetting about them for years. So we'll see if I did that or not. So they're just gathering some information in the setup process. This is probably one of the longer setup processes of the meal planning app specifically. They ask us to select a portion size, which is nice because it also makes sense that if you're um, meal planning for a family or a group of multiple people, a 6-year-old is not going to eat the same amount of food as a adult or a very active teenager. Here they ask us for our dietary restrictions. And they have a lot of options for food restrictions: dairy-free, gluten-free, kosher, low sodium, pregnant or nursing, and whole foods diet, which I thought was unique because I hadn't seen pregnant or nursing or the kosher option on any of the other services. And now we're just filling out our dislikes. And this was probably my favorite part of signing up for Playjoy, is that they ask which appliances you have access to. This was big for me because there were so many recipes I've come across in trying to, cook new things and try out new recipes that require an Instant Pot. And I don't have one of those. When I was younger, I didn't even have a food processor or a slow cooker. So I was kind of like, can I blend it? I don't know. So I thought this was a great thing that they added in because not everyone has access to the same resources in the kitchen or anywhere. So I like that they start from a place of trying to understand what we have access to. Now you all will see the kind of limits that come with Platejoy specifically. So beautiful recipes, but I can't actually see any of the recipes. And I was kind of surprised that, you know, I can really only see the nutritional information. And this could have just been something I did, but I have a feeling that they really want you to pay for this app. And and sign up for an account. And I did not do either of those. So I'll show you the basic interface, which is very usable so far, but I don't know about any more of the detailed work that you would do in this if you're actually meal planning, because I'm not going to pay any money to use a meal planning app, unfortunately. All right. Now, are there any questions or comments on MealLime, Cozy, or PlateJoy? I have all of these apps downloaded on my phone still, so I'd be more than happy to do a little live demonstration on any of them.
So far, no questions in the Q&A.
Okay. Awesome sauce. With that, we'll move on to cooking apps. Now, for cooking apps, this distinction I'm making is that they might not necessarily have any meal planning elements, especially on the free level. But they are going to have a lot of educational elements and a lot more recipes than some of the meal planning apps. So let's jump into that. So SideChef was created by a cooking beginner for cooking beginners, and that is very obvious when you're using the app. When the person who created this app started trying to cook, they didn't understand all of the terms like blanch and mincing and dicing. Um, so SideChef is really good about defining what those cooking terms mean. There are over 18,000 recipes, um, but beyond that, the food education that SideChef provides, because it is meant for beginners, is really helpful even to me, as I don't think I'm a beginning cooker, but I enjoy the sort of educational home cooking experience. Now, in this video, I do keep getting a pop-up, which you'll notice it's going to pop up a lot because I didn't sign up for a SideChef account yet. I actually might consider doing it in the future. So again, another very simple interface, and because my location services were on, they defaulted to the nearest grocery store that they partner with, which is, I think, a Walmart on the south side. And that app is gonna keep popping up. So just be aware. And if I was gonna use these apps for my planning purposes, I would, of course, sign up for an account, but it gets a little sus giving your email out to everything before you're absolutely sure you want to use them. So, personal choice for you all as well. But again, beautiful images. And once we go into this recipe, you can see some of the step-by-step guides it will give you. So here is all the ingredients listed, and those are the actual ingredients from that Walmart. And I do a search by ingredients in SideChef for a recipe that uses avocado and black beans, I believe. And there are some times where you have one day left with a perfectly ripe avocado and you need to use that avocado. And this is a great way to find something fresh and new that you can make for yourself. So there is the time it takes to cook and the ingredients list. And step-by-step mode is really awesome, especially for beginners, to help with not getting overwhelmed with a list of paragraph long steps that you have to follow. And it tries to make it so it's like one spot you have to stay in. You can set a timer from SideChef. You can see the ingredients on each of the steps, which is really helpful. And if they require you to do anything that has a skill attached to it, there's going to be a short video clip
Create a little pocket for the
showing you
mixture.
how to accomplish that skill. So very helpful. That was a very simple demonstration, but as things get more complicated, that little video is literally going to save me, if I were to continue using SideChef, so much time Googling down rabbit holes trying to figure out exactly what blanch means, um, and how it's different than boil is going to be awesome, awesome to use. All right. And now we're going to move on to Yumly. And Yumly is one of the most popular cooking apps and websites. Um, it has over 20 million users with almost a 5-star rating. So people really like it. Um, and it offers you a lot for free. Um, it does have a subscription aspect to it as well, but like a lot of the use you're going to get from Yumly is going to be, available to everyone. And there are over 2 million recipes to choose from on Yumly. So a lot of different options from breakfast to side dishes, desserts, um, main courses, of course. And Yumly also features blogs, which kind of enrich your food experience by talking about the food science aspect of things or talking about, new cookbooks and shows in the cooking and chef world. One thing that Yumly does that is really cool is let you choose items you want to leave out of a search. So maybe it's not something you dislike all of the time, but maybe you just don't want a recipe that uses a specific ingredient tonight. So you can choose to leave recipes that include uh, cheese out of them. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can do it. Okay. And another thing that's important to note about Yumly is that Yumly is almost like a database. Well, it is a database of recipes. So it's pulling them from all over the internet. And we'll see that more when we uh, go into the video here. All right, so here we are in Yumly scrolling through some of the recipes. I think it has a really nice interface. And they also do a similar thing as MealLime and some of the others by building in a sort of first time user tutorial when you open the app. So you have a guide of where to go to accomplish certain tasks. So for this one pot chicken and orzo, you'll see you can add these ingredients to your shopping list. And see the calories, but further nutrition information comes with the subscription. And once you click get directions down here at the bottom, you're taken to a different website, right? We're taken to this Joe Cook's blog. Um, and that's how they're able to give us access to all of these awesome recipes is that they are pulling from different blogs and other writers on the internet to compile them in one place for everyone to see. Lots of ads. And this weird ad just pops up in the middle of this. Sorry. But see, you can see the instructions, and this is more of a traditional recipe you might find on the internet as you're looking. There are some recipes that are only pro on Yumly, which means you have to pay I think 99 cents a month to subscribe to Yumly, but it's not the majority of them from what I found. They do the super awesome thing of separating your ingredient list into the section of the grocery store they are in, like some others. And Yumly has so many different recipes. So if I were to check out one either on the app or the web, you can go to yumly.com as well. I would probably check out this one first because it has the most and it is still pretty simple to use. All right. And the last one we'll talk about is the Food Network Kitchen. Sorry. There we are. So if you are a Food Network a watcher, the Food Network Kitchen app is going to feel really comforting and it's going to feel really familiar. The app has recipes that are done by the Food Network's personalities and, famous chefs and their food writers. Each recipe gets broken down by prep time, cook time, and a difficulty measurement. So that makes it really easy for home chefs to figure out if a recipe is worth doing by weighing the difficulty, the amount of ingredients you have to use, and how long it takes, and all that good stuff. There are over 80,000 recipes to choose from here, and you can choose recipes that are for the grill on Food Network, for baking, even kid-friendly recipes. For the first 3 months of Food Network Kitchen, it only costs 99 cents a month. And then after that, it moves up to $2.99 a month, I believe, or $20 a year. So it does come at a cost, but there are plenty of free recipe options you can use as well. Another great thing about Food Network Kitchen is that they offer live classes in the premium version with people you might see on the Food Network, which is really, really cool if you're into a celebrity chef and you get to take a little live cooking class with them. It might be really fun. And you can also watch the Food Network through the app if you have the premium version. So that might be nice. If you're cutting the cord, but you're going to miss your Food Network, this might be an alternative. So let's go ahead and check out our video here. All right. So again, I think a really decent interface. We can see those classes and we can see the filters for all our different recipes, as well as the shows that Food Network offers and some of their how-tos. I really love this crush, slice, and mince garlic little video here to show you the literal different textures that recipes are looking for based on what they instruct you to do in them. Very, very helpful. And you can search for recipes if you have an ingredient you're looking to use. You can do that. Food Network Kitchen does have a meal planning option, but it's only in the paid version. As well as the shopping list option. So
the first step of working with mushrooms is choosing good ones. What you want to look for depends on which kind of mushroom you're buying. The way to pick a white mushroom is the same as the cremini. When you buy them, be sure they're firm, plump, and clean. Avoid any with slimy spots and check the underside. The cap should be attached to the stem. To choose a portobello, give it a sniff. It should smell like the earth and have fresh-looking gills. With shiitakes, you're looking for smooth, firm caps. They should be tender, not dry, but not slimy. Now that you have picked them, it's time to clean them. Just rub them down with a damp paper towel or brush them with a pastry brush. You want to discard the woody shiitake stems and portobello stems too, or clean them and use them to flavor in stocks and broths. They're too fibrous to eat. Cremini stems are tender and delicious. Just trim the very end. Portobello gills are edible, but they'll add a dark brown color to your dish. To avoid that, just scrape the gills with an ordinary teaspoon. And here's the secret to mushroom storage. They stay fresher longer if you take them out of their containers and instead wrap them in paper towels placed in open plastic bags. Paper bags are even better. Whichever way you do it, keep them in the fridge. Use these tips to add earthy richness to your favorite dishes.
So that's just a good example of one of Food Chef Kitchen or Food Network Kitchen's how-to videos. Very easy to follow, very simple and informational and educational. So here's what an actual recipe looks like. Pretty standard in that regard. But you can share the recipe out with others, which is quite nice. And that is the gist of Food Network Kitchen on the free, as a free app. Now, let's move on to talking about cooking classes. I know there are a lot of people who like using apps and kind of figuring out and exploring things on their own. But on the flip side of that coin, I know there are lots of folks who'd prefer to have, instant visual feedback from seeing something done live, or actually have the teacher give them criticism and feedback as they're doing something to let them know they're on the right track, or if they're doing something totally wrong so they don't end up, messing up food, which nobody wants to waste food really. But there are so many cooking classes that will help you do this. And a great thing that has come out of the last few years is that there are lots of virtual cooking classes that are available for you all to attend. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this portion. So the first one we're going to talk about is Sirlatop, which has offered a robust array of in-person group cooking classes for like years and years. And when the pandemic changed how most people do most everything, the brand took their classes online, where it hosts a wide variety of them multiple times a day. The classes cost about $30 per person for most classes, but from all the reviews I found, they've actually been really excellent and of good value. And again, you can get feedback from people you know are professionals. So if you're making a sauce and you're like, this looks wrong to me, you can hold it up to your camera and kind of get their feedback, and they can tell you to add more olive oil or add a little bit of water to it. So you can make a delicious meal and learn how to troubleshoot your own cooking through the process. So here's a short clip of a trailer, I guess, for cooking classes that kind of shows you what you might be looking at if you are in a Zoom class with the people from Sirlatop.
Hi, I'm Bon Appetit Executive Chef Mary Nolan, and I'm here in the Sirlatop kitchen. Today, I'm going to be showing you some recipes in this class. They put big, bold flavors on the table in no time. These recipes make eating and cooking fun.
So just a little snippet, I can see that being a really fun date night activity, or if you've got family members from out of town and you want to stay in and cook together, that could be a really fun activity as well. Now, moving on to our next option for virtual cooking classes, we have Masterclass. And Masterclass is more for the lifelong learner, right? It's not just about cooking. You can learn about writing, sports, business, wellness, exercise, like a whole range of different subjects. And each topic is taught by a renowned expert in that field. Um, Masterclass is expensive. It's $15 a month or $180 a year. So that's a pretty high cost, I think. But for that, you can access all the courses on the site beyond just cooking classes or a specific subject. The videos from Masterclass all have great production value, and the courses are engaging and fast-paced, and you get a mix of practical tools, things you can take with you that you learn from the class that you can apply to your life, as well as little nuggets and snippets about the person teaching the class, the celebrities we want to know more about. Not so much for the cooking classes, but for some of the other subjects, there are even audio only versions that are almost like podcasts that you can listen to while you're driving or, out on a run. So let's take a look at this one.
Beautiful. So beautiful.
My God.
It's easy to cook on TV. There's talented producers, there's fucking editors, and there's all sorts of things that make you look good. Before any TV came anywhere near my career, I'd mastered my craft. You'll see a side to me across this class that I don't think has ever been shown before. Knife skills. The basics are so important. 3 fingers down, and this beautiful knuckle is the guiding light across that knife. Cooking salmon, so the secret is to score the skin. That stops the fish from buckling up. You can't pick up the world's best cookbook and understand that you need to do it. Delicious. Everything I've learnt, understood, stolen, perfected, is laid bare across this masterclass. For the first time ever, you're going to learn how to cook those ingredients from start to finish. I've just spent the last 30 years busting my ass off to get on the plate what I'm about to show you, and watch, but watch carefully. I'm Gordon Ramsay, and this is my masterclass.
My God.
All right, so the masterclass classes are all, because they come with such high production value, they are pre-recorded, so it's not going to be the same as the next one we talk about, which is Airbnb. And you may think, what does renting a place while I'm traveling have to do with a cooking class? Well, I will tell you. Airbnb started offering experiences in 2019, I believe, where you can do things like take tours and visit native animals when you're traveling. And then it evolved to offering hands-on cooking experiences around the world. You can cook with local hosts and make traditional recipes with people who know them best. As of lately, they have even transitioned to doing online cooking experiences. So you can literally find a Italian grandmother and make pasta with her, which is very cool. And one thing I find that is distinctive about Airbnb's online experiences is that you have the ability to support local people on a level that you're not necessarily able to do when you're buying a cooking class from Sirlatop or Masterclass. With this option, you are funneling money directly to a person in a local community. This is their cultural food that they've grown up making and probably know better than a lot of world-renowned chefs who are from a different community do. So I really like that as an option for those reasons. And here is a little snippet of a video from a YouTuber who tried out Airbnb's online experiences.
And if we didn't, that was okay. She gave us different options, like if I didn't have any tomatillos, which I didn't, she let me use half a tomato. And also I didn't have any peanuts either, so I had walnuts, which still worked. I don't really cook often, so I was afraid of not keeping up.
Are you okay? Your plate is
But the host made it easy to follow, and she would also ask each and every guest along the way if they were okay before continuing on to different steps. We made not one, but 3 salsas, different kinds. I didn't know there was more than one salsa. One of them even tasted like chutney. I had so much fun doing it, I would totally do another cooking class through Airbnb. It really did make me think that I was in Mexico because of the smells in the kitchen when I was cooking, and the music that they played throughout the lesson, and also the warm hospitality.
So as you can see, Airbnb online experiences really, for cooking classes especially, can really give you that, you're cooking there beside them feel. They can give you feedback and work for substitutions and things of that nature. So I thought that looked like a really good experience, and I am definitely going to try that one out myself. And then finally, the Milwaukee Public Library actually offered a series of live virtual cooking classes last summer, and they've all been recorded and added to our YouTube channel. And these cooking classes featured local chefs who are also restaurant owners in the city of Milwaukee, and they walked patrons through some of their signature recipes and how to create them. I have a little snippet of a virtual cooking class here from Caitlin Cullen, who owns the Tandem. So you can kind of get the feel for what these cooking classes offer. So let's take a look at that.
Friends, I'm going to put this over here. Piece of chicken. Nope, that's the carcass. I'm going to pull out a piece of chicken. I'm going to really let it drain some of this brine. If you want to have an additional step, say you brined your chicken the day before you're going to have folks over, if you're able to dry it and let it sit in the strainer for a little while before you start battering it, it's really going to help. But honestly, it won't be a killer. So I'm going to put my left hand, drop it in the dry, and then with my right hand, my left hand far away, I'm covering the chicken with flour. I'm kind of squeezing it onto the bird, and then I'm giving it a shake and making sure when I look at it that all parts are covered, and I'm going to set it on my tray. If there is any part of the chicken that is not covered when you pull it out of the flour, it will not have coating on it. And if you're using a deep fryer, which you're more than welcome to do as well, you'll really notice it a lot more than in the oven fried. And again, it's just, for a deep fryer, it'd be 350 degrees versus the 400 degrees we have your oven on for oven fried. Again, I'm shaking and flipping. I'm hoping you guys are doing the same and having fun. I know Sarah's still with me. Maybe Lydia's still with me, but I'm hoping you guys are keeping up okay. And Raina, can I put you to work?
Yeah.
I need one more of these trays, and they're on that shelf back there. But this is a fairly large bird.
Mic on.
So that's just to give you all a little overview of some of the awesome programming that we're doing at the library. But we have, I believe, 4 more cooking classes with online chefs that are about an hour and a half long, and we'll provide you with an ingredients list, and they go through and show you each part of the recipe step by step by step. And that could be a really fun experience as well. And then you could maybe go to their restaurant because they are maybe 15 minutes away from you and say, I saw your virtual cooking class and I have to get some more of that oven fried chicken or what have you. Like I mentioned, these and several other classes with local chefs are available on the Milwaukee Public Library's YouTube channel, and I will include a link to those in the follow-up email as well. All right, are there any final questions about the apps we discussed today, anything like that?
All right. It looks like Arlene would like to know if you have any recommendations for meal prepper planning on YouTube.
There are a lot of good creators. I don't have any recommendations myself from YouTube, but I'm pretty sure there are some very skilled people on there. I remember following one recipe that was like a keto recipe for like that involved a lot of chicken, and that was more so for meal prepping, which we didn't really get into today, where I just would make a bunch of 15 meals and that would be our food for the whole entire week. I don't really do that anymore, but I'm sure I could look up some good ones. Do you have any recommendations, Arlene or Beth?
I am going into my YouTube saved videos right now. So let me check that out for a second. Diane would like to know, I missed the introduction of SideChef. Is there a cost for this app?
Sure. So SideChef is, all of the apps are free to download, but they come with a cost if you want to get the premium features. Let me back up to the SideChef slide and I'll tell you how much. Oh, I guess I don't have it in my presentation. Let me see. Sorry about my loud giant cat, everyone. I apologize. All right. So SideChef is $5 a month or $50 a year. But yes, absolutely. I see Arlene's reply. She says she doesn't have any suggestions. She just thought people could also check there for cooking videos. And she is absolutely correct. So for example, Gordon Ramsay, I believe he has a YouTube channel that he posts to occasionally. A lot of chefs that are television chefs, say, have YouTube channels as well that they post individual content on. And then there are people, and that brings me to my honorable mention. Thank you for reminding me of TikTok for recipes and cooking guides. There are a lot of smaller chefs, people like Tabitha Brown. She's awesome, and she's not a small chef anymore, but there are a lot of awesome recipes that are on pretty much any social media site that has a visual component to it. So YouTube, TikTok, that have step-by-step recipes and guides to, introduce you to new kinds of food.
All right. I just found one. Sorry, my kids have so many things clogging up my YouTube history here. I don't think you all want to watch Minecraft videos. But there is one where this guy, he cooks with his dad and they do Asian food, and I really like his videos. So this is like a ginger scallion sauce recipe. So let me drop that link in the chat here. Yeah, there's all sorts of good stuff. I also look up knife skills on YouTube sometime for like chopping or how to best cut this bell pepper.
Absolutely. Apparently, there's a correct way to cut almost every vegetable, and I have not known them for most of my adult life. So,
me either. I was like, oh, okay. I'm not too efficient with it. We give all the scrap vegetables to my guinea pig, so I like to give her a little extra.
Awesome. So let's jump on back to the end here. And again, I would like, well, not again, but I would love to thank you all for joining us today for Technology Tuesdays. I hope some of you will consider joining us next week for our Tech Tuesdays on Facebook pages and groups. Again, if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me, and you can look forward to receiving that follow-up email from me later on this week. Thank you all so much for joining us today, and have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.